Welcome back to Grassroots Media, and welcome to this week's edition of the Gregory Contracting and Excavating Billy Kaylor Show, where we cover everything on the black hole with the Chuckey-Doak Black Knights football team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Billy Kaylor. That's a mouthful of an intro right there.
There it is. Yeah, you did well.
Gregory Contracting and Excavating Billy Kaylor Show. That's one where you have to take your time.
That's right. Better think through that one.
Yeah, if you try to say that one, say that one 3 times real fast.
I'm not here.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to volunteer to do that either, but let's jump right into it. Week 2, squared off against the Grainger Grizzlies. You were coming off of a strong Week 1 where you claimed your first win as a high school head coach. Came into Week 2, we talked about how tough of a matchup it would be taking on Grainger, much improved team from last year. They gave you all that you could handle in the second half too, staged a big comeback effort there when they were down by 3 possessions. Your defense came up strong in the end, came out with a victory to start the season 2-0. How happy were you with the results?
Really, really proud of our kids. We played 27 snaps of offense that mattered that night. 32 total, 3 kneels, two penalties, so 27 effective snaps of offense. To come out as a defense and play that many snaps of football and stand up at the end when it mattered, that's a gutsy win. That's a tough win. Really proud of the way they played.
And something that I think we had talked about Saturday morning also was that a lot of people don't realize how many consecutive regular season wins Chuckey-Doak has now. I think this is the 11th consecutive regular season win that Chuckey-Doak has had now, dating back to your last regular season loss, which was Week 1 last year against Knox Catholic. So to see that many regular season wins come, and I can't remember how many it's been dating back to the 2021 season at the end when you had a little bit of a rally winning streak there, but you're starting to see your team come together at the beginning of this year too, just like at the beginning of last year too. So how do you like your chances going forward into the season? How do you like how everything's gelled together at the beginning of the year?
I think we're starting to grow together a little bit. I was really, as a new head coach and new to this team, obviously, you put your guys under fire like that and you put them under pressure, you kind of see what they're made of. And they certainly stood up in a tough ball game against a really physical Grainger team that threw some stuff at us we weren't expecting. Their quarterback was out, so they did some stuff scheme-wise we hadn't seen on film. Our guys, we made a lot of mistakes, but we played really hard, adjusted well for the most part. I was really proud of that. We've started to gel a little bit. I think we're starting to find ourselves a little bit offensively, which is a good thing to happen, obviously. So I think we've got a chance. I think we've got a chance to play with most people.
And I want to talk about your defense again because they came up big in the second half. Came up big in both halves, honestly, because 2 of your 3 scores that you had in the first half were on defense. We had talked about it where if you score on defense or special teams and the percent that you have to win a game goes up. You had 2 of those. Isaiah Treadway had a 70-yard pick 6. Brock Rush had a 40-yard scoop and score. Talk about both of those plays, and we'll get into the second half of football too, where you had 2 huge defensive stops.
Yeah, good luck catching Isaiah Treadway in the open field. He got ahead of steam, and he made a great play. Brock was all over the field, defensively particularly, all night. So those were 2 huge plays. Those are stolen reps in my opinion, and they turned the tide of the game for us. So I was really proud of them.
And then the second half also, coming down into the fourth quarter, you had to really step up. And I think something that you said in the post-game huddle was that you can't teach guts. And that's exactly what the defense showed right there at the end. Grainger scored, made it, I believe, a 2-possession ball game. Then they get an onside kick. They go down, they score again. And then you have either a 3-and-out or I think it was an interception late into the game. So you have that one last, was it?
Yeah, fumble recovery late in the game.
And then you have one last defensive stop to show what you're made of. And they proved what they were made of too. They stopped the Grizzly offense towards the end, and you were able to come out with a win. So talk about that fourth quarter and what it came down to at the end.
Man, it was nerve-wracking. Our guys did a really good job of bending and not breaking much early in the game. And as the game wore on, you play that much defense, and they're against a team that's that physical. Eventually something's going to pop. It's going to happen eventually. And they played well. Grainger did, and had some good scheme stuff on us, and ripped a couple there on us late. And to stand up there, kind of backed up, force a fumble. It's easy. Making great plays is never easy. But making great plays when it matters, when it counts, that's a tough thing to do mentally for a lot of high school kids. And our guys never backed down from that moment, which was really, really good to see.
Your defense really carried you through the game, too, with those 2 early scores.
Absolutely.
And then those big stops late in the fourth quarter. But let's talk about the offensive production a little bit, especially from Brazen Mervin. Another big game from him, 15 carries, 157 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Not just 2 touchdowns, 2 long touchdowns, a 51-yarder and a 39-yarder. He did exactly what you needed out of him again. He had about 10 yards a carry, averaged another first down per carry again this year. I'd love to see his average yards per carry up to this point through 2 games because it's a lot, and he did what he needed Friday night in order to get you to that win.
Absolutely. I mean, he's dynamic with the football in his hands, and would have loved to have some more offense to be able to spread that ball around. But, it was what it was, and we did what we needed to do at the time. And, I was really proud of our offensive line, particularly, late in the second quarter there, he rip off the long one, going toward the scoreboard. They're tired. Most of those guys played defense as well. They're exhausted, and we blocked up inside zone just the way it needed to be blocked up, and that thing split. And, Brayson hits a clean hole, and good luck catching him.
And I love hearing some of the other stats that I don't read beforehand during the interview because, like you said, you had, I think, 32 total offensive reps. 3 were
kneels at the end of the game.
3 were kneels and then 2 were penalties. So you really only had 27 offensive snaps. And when you give 15 of those to Brazen, which is over 50%, and he gives you an average of a first down every time he touches the ball,
that's production.
That's very good production. That's beneficial. And that's somebody that you can really rely on down the stretch too.
Absolutely. And he wants the ball. He came off at one point and said, "Feed me," and I said, "Okay, buddy." When you got a kid that's that talented and wants the ball and an offensive line that's playing fairly good to this point, man, give him the rock and let that kid work. He does a good job.
And just an overall great win again. I mean, I don't know if some people realize how tough of a team Grainger is to play sometimes. Even when their program is a little down at the time, people don't realize how big of a win that is to defeat a Grainger team. Did that last year, and that's what you got going and launched you into that position where everybody realized, like, oh, the Black Knights are for real. Could be the same this year again. It's early. Too early to tell at this point, though. 2 games into the season now. Got an important game coming up now. First county game for you, actually.
Right.
You're witnessing or you're experiencing your first county game here.
That's right.
So we'll talk about that a little bit in the second half. We'll go ahead and take a break first. So we'll be right back after this commercial break here on Grassroots Media.
At Corner Pond, the friendly and knowledgeable staff has the experience necessary to help you out regardless the need. Have an item of value you'd like to pawn or sell? Corner Pond can help. They pawn numerous items of value, including firearms, tools, ammunition, silver, coins, and much more. When you walk through their doors, you'll find well-stocked shelves full of electronics, gaming systems, fishing and hunting equipment, car audio and accessories. And don't forget about the room full of guitars and basses and amplifiers, or their outside lawn and garden equipment. Corner Pond is a case knife dealer and carries numerous used knives as well. Stop by and let the friendly staff at Corner Pond help you today at 432 East Bernard Avenue, Greenville, Tennessee. Tommy's Plumbing has provided professional plumbing services to the residents of Greenville, Tennessee for over 30 years. Our experience and reputation have helped us grow our business to add locations in Jonesboro, Tennessee. Tommy's Plumbing is local and family owned, and we offer a full line of plumbing services, such as kitchen faucet, shower faucets, commodes, and bathroom faucets, as well as drain cleaning. We also provide outside plumbing work, such as septic and sewer drain cleanouts, as well as repair and replace. Tommy's Plumbing pretty much does it all. Tommy's Plumbing is licensed, bonded, and insured. Our quality workmanship and passion to provide our clients with expert service is second to none. We guarantee we have the best warranty around. For all your plumbing needs, give Tommy's a call at 638-3662.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Gregory Contracting and Excavating Billy Kaylor Show, where we cover everything on the black hole with the Chuckey-Doak Black Knights football team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Billy Kaylor. So we just mentioned it in the latter half. You get to experience your first county game as a head coach with Chuckey-Doak. First team you've got is the West Greene Buffaloes.
Yep.
No longer a conference opponent for Chuckey-Doak, but still stakes are just as high for the boys. They love county games.
Yep.
I know you probably haven't understood what it means in Greene County yet, but you know what it means in the landscape of facing a county opponent.
Absolutely.
And facing a team in such close proximity. So what's your mindset going into Thursday night, which is also weird to say Thursday night.
Yeah.
What's your mindset going into Thursday night, what you expect out of West Greene?
Well, I mean, they're a good football team. They're coming off one of their better years last year. They're 2-0, so they do some really good things offensively. They're fairly physical up front. They run the ball well. So I'm excited. Everywhere I've been, you got county opponents, and those games matter a little bit more. Just personally to these kids because they know each other. So I'm looking forward to seeing that atmosphere, even though it is on a Thursday, which is I haven't done that since I played in college, so that's a little weird. But getting our guys together and going down there to play a good physical opponent, I'm excited about it.
So what my next question was going to lead into also, with it being a Thursday night game, it's the week that I personally dislike the most during the year because all of my work gets crammed into 3 days and all of your preparation gets crammed into 3 days because you don't have that 4-day week to prepare for a game that you play on Friday night. You have one less day now that it's on Thursday night. So what has your week kind of been like, and how do you prepare to play a game with one less day on your schedule?
We're lucky this week. It hadn't been nearly as hot, so we haven't had to worry about practice quite as much. But, you just kind of got to shove as much as you can into each practice and give them as many reps and as much volume as you can get them because you lose a day. And hope the guys come out focused and locked in each day. And they have this week. We've had 2 good days of practice, had a good walkthrough today. So I think they're ready, but it certainly changes the game a little bit.
Talk about West Greene a little bit more, too. Let's jump back on them. What do you expect to see out of their offense? So far throughout their first 2 games, they've been really run-heavy. Do you expect them to be run-heavy again this coming Thursday night, or do you expect them to pass it a little bit more on you?
We expect them to be a little bit more run-heavy. That's kind of their identity, it seems. Don't doubt they have the ability, certainly scheme-wise, at what they do to throw the football if they so choose and they can execute it. But they're going to run the football. They want to command the line of scrimmage, which it's great for us because I want to see our guys do the same thing. So defensively, we have a chance to really improve on a lot of what gave us trouble last week. Part of the reason we had trouble getting off the field is, we didn't do a great job of setting the edge of some of that buck sweep stuff that so those wing tee style plays that Grainger was doing. So we got a chance to improve on that. So I think offensively they're going to be mostly run heavy. That's what we anticipate anyway.
Will it kind of surprise you a little bit if they come out more pass heavy?
Yeah, I would be a little surprised. But, good on them if they can do it. I mean, if they can execute it, it'd be a good thing to do because it's certainly not what they've shown on film to this point. So, you always want to keep somebody on their toes. Not be the first time I've seen somebody mix it up just to mess with you a little bit. So we'll see.
That's why you got to prepare for anything. I mean,
that's right.
You got to expect anything and everything from some teams.
That's right.
Let's talk about your offense a little bit. Well, usually we talk about the offense carrying Chuckey-Doak to a win, but last week it was sort of different with the defense carrying you to a win. But let's go back on the offense a little bit. You've got playmakers all over the field. You've got Brazen Mervin. You've got Brock Rush. You've got Isaiah Treadway. You've got Nick Palazzo out there. What do you expect for them to scheme up on you guys, and how do you expect them to kind of give you a formation to look at?
I mean, I think they're going to try to load the box on us a little bit. I mean, obviously, Brayson's averaging over a first down every carry. So I think, if I'm scouting us, I need to stop the run first because that kid's really talented. The tricky part for other people is going to be, okay, if you stop that, what do you do with number 7 out there and number 4? What do you do with those guys? Because we're blessed. Brock is certainly explosive. Isaiah is as well. Marco Rojas is a really explosive athlete as well. So we've got some options. I anticipate them throwing us a wrench defensively just to see if they can get us off our game a little bit. But, again, you never know.
Something that I just thought of on the fly, too. I think Chuckey-Doak is on a 5-game county winning streak at the moment, too. So
cool. Yeah.
Looking to extend that to 6 this
Absolutely.
upcoming Thursday night, too. That's so weird to say with it being Thursday night this week. Thankfully, we don't have to do that any other time this year. Every other game's on Friday night. But last question each week that I always ask, too. You got 3 keys to every game. What are they this week?
I think we need to command the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. That's going to be every week. That you got to command the line of scrimmage. We need to get off the field on defense, and we need to let our offense play a little bit. That's going to be big for us. We survived a game and played tough last week, but to do that consistently and play that many snaps defense is really hard. So we need to get off the field on defense, and I'd love to see us force a couple of turnovers. I think that'd be a really good shot in the arm for us defensively.
All right. Puts the final nail in the coffin on this interview. This will be 7:30 on Thursday night. It's when kickoff set at West Greene. It'll be on the range. So you're seeing this Wednesday about 24 hours before the game kicks off. So if you're seeing this on Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, Thursday at 6 o'clock, you've still got time to go down to West Greene. Kickoff is at 7:30 once again on the range. But, Coach, that's all I've got for you this week. Thank you for joining me this week. Game will be streaming here on the Grassroots Media YouTube channel again this upcoming Thursday night. So if you can't make it out to the game, then stay right here. It'll be streaming on this exact channel. But thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Gregory Contracting and Excavating Billy Kaylor Show. Look forward to seeing you next time here on Grassroots Media.